So we are now in the month of February. It has just gotten right past us. You thought you had a January 32nd, but no. After that 31st, we slipped right into February. We are here. And we have started a lesson series for the year, really working with the theme, a year of yes. A year of yes. Can we say it together? A year of yes. A year of yes. And we said that this year we're committed to living our lives in the affirmative. That's what yes is. It's an affirmation. It's a statement of invitation for the good to come into our lives. Yes? See, that was like an uncertain yes. Yes? Yes. That's what I'm talking about. That we are an open door for good. Say it, point to yourself, I am an open door for good in all its forms. For good in all of its forms. I'm an open door for that. And so this is what this attitude of yes is. I'm standing in the place of the affirmative. And as we move into the month of February, which we look at as Love Month here, we're saying yes to love. Can anybody stand a little extra love? Who has too much? Anybody got too much love? If not, if you do, we can help you circulate it around here. And so we are looking at this month of love, saying yes to love in all of its forms. Because love comes in many different forms, doesn't it? And when we're thinking about love, mostly we're thinking about this exchange between human beings that we like. Yes? Come on, tell the truth and stay in church now. I like you so I can love you. That's usually how it goes. And it's some form of reciprocity, some form of mutual benefit that I get from you, and I just turn it back on you, and we do it this, and that's our love. That's often how the world interprets love. And in a way, there is some good in that. But I'm calling for a radical season of love, or a season of radical love. What kind of love? Come on. Because I want us to get beyond transactional love to what kind of love? How many of you remember mathematics and the square root? Remember square roots? There's some of us who don't remember high school at all. It's like, what was that? What was that about? But this whole idea of square root is really taking a number and breaking it down to its essence, its core, its basis. And when we're talking about anything that is radical, it is really getting at the root, at the heart, at its essential meaning. And so this is the way we want to engage love during this season of radical love. I want to get to the core of it. Talk to me. I want to get to I'm getting to the bottom of it. Ever need to get to the bottom of a matter? Have you ever given yourself that kind of stretch as it relates to love? I'm getting to the bottom of this thing called love. And so that's what we're working with. Now, conveniently, we've made it possible for you to do this. In fact, every year around this time, we celebrate the Lenten season. Anybody remember Lenten season? It starts this Wednesday. Tell somebody nearby, Lent starts this Wednesday. Just let them know. For some of us, that's not on our calendar. Wednesday is bowling night. That's what Wednesday is. The Lenten season starts this Wednesday with the Ash Wednesday observance. Now, in Unity, we do everything a little bit differently. Have you noticed? You haven't noticed yet? Yeah, we try to take another approach. The Lenten season, though, let's just by definition, is that period beginning at Ash Wednesday, moving all the way until the crucifixion where we then start a new season called the Easter season. So Ash Wednesday to Easter, which is what? A 40-day journey. And that journey is really in tandem watching Jesus move through his own life's journey. So we're following Jesus' journey from that point where he was in the wilderness all the way to his resurrection and ascension. You get that? So that's what this season commemorates now. However, the 40-day, 40-night observance of Jesus being in the wilderness is what we take on during that Lenten period. So during Jesus' time in the wilderness, Jesus fasted. Everybody say fast. He fasted. And he fasted in the physical, but he also was working on his soul. Do you know that you use a fast not so that you can prove that you can go without eating something? That's the outer meaning. But the inner meaning is really the cultivation or the development or the expansion of the soul. Say, I'm working on my soul. Come on, together. I'm always working on my soul. Let's try. Come on, I'm always working on my soul. And so the Lenten season gives us an opportunity to work on our souls in an intensive way. And so fasting is that abstention from something outer to symbolize something that I'm looking to overcome inwardly. Got it? Who needs to overcome something inwardly? A quality that you need to overcome or to cultivate, yes? All right. And so this fasting period for me, I'm just going to tell you right now, I'm fasting from, in the physical, sugary drinks. Anybody sugary? Just me? I'm the only one. Nobody's giving up your Pepsi, right? Just Diet Coke. That's all me. Okay, so I need your support. Mine is lemonade. I'm a lemonade-aholic. I just got to have some lemonade. But for the last few days, I've been working with it. And what I've discovered is that I'm not craving the sugar as much as I thought I was. I'm actually craving the lemons. So I've been doing lemon water, just working with lemon water. And I like the lemon and the lemonade. So over this next few 40 days, 40 nights, I am going to be using that as my way of working in the physical. So I want you to think about something that you can abstain from as symbolic of what you're working on within your soul. Have you got it? Now, in Unity, if you've been here for any length of time, you know that the Lenten season has an acronym. We try to help you to remember it and to be practical. Lent is an acronym for what? Let's eliminate negative thinking. Come on. Let's eliminate negative thinking. That's what we're working on. Eliminating negatives from our lives. Does anybody have maybe one negative that you need to eliminate from within your life? And if you're sitting next to him, that's not what I'm talking about. I saw somebody just look right over. I'm talking about something within myself. The old song says, it's me, oh Lord, standing in the need of prayer. Not my mother, not my father, but it's, come on, me, oh Lord, standing in the need of prayer. I've got to work on me. Have you got it? So is there perhaps one thing that you might need to work on within yourself? Just let me see some hands in here. The rest of you who are not raising your hands, I want you to levitate right up off that seat. I need proof that you can do it. So we're constantly working on the evolution of our souls. We're constantly working to reveal that which is within us. And so the Lenten season is that chance for us to eliminate some of the things that will allow our spirit to shine more brightly. Okay? Now, that part of the Lenten activity represents Unity's teaching of denials. Everybody say denials. When we're working with a denial, we are making a statement that withdraws the power of some negativity over me. Have you got it? So one of the great denials is pain, poverty, sickness, old age cannot master me, for they are not real. That's a denial. I'm withdrawing, everybody do it with me, come on. I'm withdrawing the power of that thing over my real self. Have you got it? So when you're fasting from whatever that is, you are taking your power back. So I'm taking it back. I'm taking it back from this seeming negative condition. That's denial. The other side of that Lenten equation is called affirmation. And so we take that L-E-N-T to perform this acronym. Let's employ, who knows it by now? Come, there you go. I've got two people who've been here more than once. Come on. Let's employ new thoughts. Together, let's employ. And you know what? Each year when I come to this lesson, I always say to myself, they're going to be so bored with this. I don't know if they want me to go over it. Apparently, does this serve you? Yes. So anytime we pull up something from within ourselves, we must replace. And so the Lenten season is a season of fasting during the week, and then on the weekend, like a Sunday, these are called feast days. So fasting and what? Feasting. Again, fasting and... So the soul then, as it has been purged from something, now needs something to go in its place. So I want to replace what I have erased. What do I want to do? I want to, come on, replace what I have erased. And so we feast on truth. We feast on the positive. We feast on that which can give us life and hope and possibility and potential. Have you got it? So I call this Lenten journey a season of radical love, because what I want us to work with, if you will join me, is getting to the essence of love, and let love be the goal in your Lenten process. Would that be all right? All right, so 4 of us are going to do it. Would that be all right? Yes. Now, I asked you a minute ago if there was something you might need to work on during this Lenten journey, just to cultivate and to develop, and particularly around this area of love. And most of you, weren't honest, and so that's okay. That's all right. But I think I might bring to your attention here, from this reading from 1 Corinthians, something that you might want to just take a look at. Just might see something in what I'm about to read that might apply to you or someone you work with. This is Paul talking. He says, if I speak and all of us know this one, right? If I speak in the tongues of mortals and angels, but do not have love, I am a noisy gong or a clanging cymbal. And if I have prophetic powers and understand all mysteries and all knowledge, and if I have all faith as to remove mountains, but do not have love, I am nothing. It's right. I didn't write that. That's in there. If I give away all my possessions, and if I hand over my body so that I may boast, but do not have love, I gain nothing. Just start right there. I'll come back to this in just a moment. So we're talking about radical love. And now Paul opens this up by helping us to understand what things we do that seemingly show that we're loving, But if those things are not based in love, they don't count. Some of us are spiritually gifted. Anybody who's spiritually gifted in here? He says, if I speak in the tongues of angels, and that may not necessarily be spiritual giftedness. You might be a romantic. Hey, I love you, girl. Is that the tongues of angels? I saw somebody quiver when I said that, though. So when I dropped down the baritone, I love you. That sometimes we do speak with the tongues of angels, and sometimes on the outer we have this, I want to call it a facade. But don't we all know, haven't we all heard one of those empty I love yous? Do you know what I'm talking about? The kind that didn't touch your heart or head or anything. You just look over and say, come on now. Try again. Because when it is based in love, when it comes from love, it's not what comes out of your mouth, but what is exuding from the soul. And so when it moves from soul to soul, whether you say it or not, the other knows that it is real. Who knows what I'm talking about? When Anita and I were first dating in our early courtship, we were just so in love, and there was one of those moments. We hadn't said the words yet, the I love yous. You know the moment, because you want to save that. Isn't that how it goes in the dating world? You gotta, let me just save that one for last. But Anita would be so excited when she would see me. She would. Well, I'm telling the truth. I'm telling the truth. What? I'm just telling the truth. What? This is a true story. I'm not being boastful or anything. I'm just telling a story here. And it was just so good. Anita just looked at me and said, you. And I was like, yeah, I got her. And she didn't say it, right? She didn't say, I love you, but she did. You got it? Now, I was the first person in the relationship to utter the actual words, right? We debate over this all the time. And it's okay that I'm right, and then sometimes it's okay. Hey, once in a marriage, right? I get to be right? But actually, that was already flowing. Do you get what I'm saying? So if you have that emptiness in your expression of love, maybe that's something we need to work on during our Lenten journey. Then he talks about if I give everything I have away, I'm just super generous, I'm super philanthropic. Anybody knows what I'm talking about? And we can be generous and philanthropic and go to every non-for-profit event in town. Got every T-shirt, every ribbon, every plaque on the wall. You run every marathon. But if you are doing it only to be congratulated, then it says, I am nothing. It counts for what? Doesn't count. Now, let me just help you out here. I do want you to practice that generosity here, though. If you need a training ground in which to work with it now, we have all sorts of opportunities, and I'm here to coach you to make sure that it's based in love. If you give, says your body to be burned. You know the self-sacrificing ones? You know what I'm talking about. Oh my God. I'm always busy. Why? Because I'm taking care of my mother, and I'm taking care of the kids, and I'm taking care of this one, I'm taking care of that one. But when I talk to you, you are just so filled with guile. Ever met somebody like that? They're busy taking care of folks that they don't want to take care of. Raise your hands if you want a good confession. Let's just get it out of your soul. If you know somebody taking care of you that doesn't want to take care of you, you know it. Well, it's getting quiet in here. This way of being in the world may as well have you stop it. Why? Because what is being transmitted are not your acts, but your spirit. And so people can feel the mechanical nature of that. Are you hearing me? So during this Lenten season, I want to seek a way in which I can cause my caregiving from a place of, come on. Yeah. Are we together on this? All right. Now, I'm sure I haven't gotten to your number yet, so Paul, realizing that most people would say that ain't me, right? These first few verses went on to help us to see some other, okay? I'm here to help. So he starts defining love just so that we can have a unified working definition. So here's what he says. Love is patient. Love is kind. Love is not envious or boastful or arrogant or rude. It does not insist on its own way. It is not irritable. 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 It is not. Who's getting irritated? Gotcha. Or resentful. It does not rejoice in wrongdoing, but rejoices in the truth. It bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Love never ends. All right, let's start with the first one. Now, this is a list. I want you to imagine this as your checklist. As you hear these things, I want you to see how you can be spiritually fasting. The first one said that love is what? Patient. Love is patient. So if you find yourself being impatient, what must you focus on in your spiritual fasting? Yes, I am eliminating impatience from my life. Together, I am eliminating impatience. That's what I want my fast to be about. Impatience. What is impatience? My inability to extend love to myself or another. My inability to provide compassion in a situation because it does not suit my pressing demand. It does not suit my pressing demand. And what is my pressing demand? Just avoiding pain or trying to get to some more pleasure. Whatever that is, that's usually the pressing demand. And so my withholding of patience says I would like to have what I like to have without there being a process. And so far, in 6,000 years of recorded history, things are produced through a process. Put a seed in the ground, there is a. Go to get your driver's license renewed, there is a. Want to get married, there is a. Why do we think we're going to get away without having a? Want to get your car washed, there is a. Want to have dinner at night, there is a. You just can't say dinner and there's dinner. I'm working on it. So far, I'm failing. Are you hearing me? So that part of us that will not allow ourselves, because I'm only impatient with myself. Do you get that? You might think you're extending it to others, but I can't truly give another what I am not really giving to me. The impatient are very hard on themselves. Anybody hard on yourself in here? Yeah. Give yourself the space to grow by fasting from impatience. fasting from what? I want to fast from impatience. Kindness, that was the next one. It says, love is kind. Now, kindness, what is kindness? A conscious act of generosity. Kindness hinges on that golden rule that we were talking about a little bit earlier. Do unto others as you would have, come on, others do unto you. When we were in Sunday school, they taught us in a simple way, I will do unto others as I would have others do unto me. This is what kindness is. Now, these things hinge on one another, right? If I'm impatient, it's possible that my impatience might end up in some what? Unkindness. Have you ever been on I-80? Huh? Round 4 or 5 o'clock. And you see how the trigger just gets it out and people start extending fingers and shouting at glass. The window's closed, but they're shouting at glass. Huh? And I can be more personal with this. I can put some skin in the game here. Just yesterday, my son, Caden, had a fit. I understand that at this stage in life, 3-year-olds are having fits, right? But what happens is I'm upstairs and he's downstairs. And it's not the fit that he's having, it's the sound of noise coming from downstairs, rising upstairs, ever more in greater measure, reaching to my spinal column. Then it moves into the hands. Who knows? It's the noise. It's not the fit. But I've got to get to him. You know what I'm saying? You got to get to him. Son, come up here, please. He comes up here in the fit activity. It's still affecting me in the moment. Son, what's the matter? Because now I have to remember in the moment, I am the parent and can't get down on the floor and break dance with him right there, because I want to break dance and have a fit too. Because that's about what he's doing, I'm the parent, right? He looks to me for guidance. Son, what is the matter? Let's have a little talk. This is exactly what I said. Come on, let's have a little talk. Let's talk about it. What's the matter? I don't want to give up my iPad. First of all, you are 3 years old and you have an iPad. Let's just start right there. But mommy says I can't play with, okay, son, but your grandmother's here and your family's here. You got to go and see them and be with them. Can you do that? Yes, but can I have my iPad too? I mean, he couldn't see why he couldn't have both at the same time. And so I was able to pull up from within me, deep down, the patience. But here's what happens when I'm not that way. When I don't have the consciousness to be patient and kind, the noise level just gets up in there, and that impatience moves to unkindness. Will you say yourself down? See, impatience and unkindness. You see how they correspond? Who's guilty as well? Don't leave me out here by myself. All right, so I want to fast from being unkind with my words, with my expressions. So if you find yourself having that way of being when you are impatient, work on being kind. Kindness is the extension of courtesy to another. I'm doing unto others what I want them to do unto me. If my son came upstairs and said, "Why are you always working?" We'd have to have a little, battle royal or something going on. Are you get what I'm saying? So this is something to fast from. Now, you're going to find something that's going to hit you on this list in just a moment, okay? So maybe I haven't gotten to your number. You're the kindest and the most patient. Here's the other one. Love is not envious. What is envy? That's wanting somebody else's stuff and disliking them because you can't have their stuff. Or you say to yourself you can't have their stuff. You know what I mean? So you see them enjoying life, and rather than saying, "Wow, that's me too," you say, he thinks he's all of that. She thinks she's all of that. Who does he think he is with that pink jacket on? Don't be jealous, because you can have a pink jacket too. Are you hearing me? So it's this business of operating from a consciousness of lack and projecting that lack onto someone else. My sense of lack is your fault, essentially, is what envy is all about. My sense of something missing is your fault. Have you got it? And so if that is your number, and so far we haven't hit your number yet, so this is the saints of God in here, right? You all should have habits on and everything in here. If you find yourself being envious, let that be the focal point of your fasting, your spiritual fast. I am willing to accept my good in all of its forms. Together, come on. I am willing to accept my good in all of its forms. God has your good with your name on it. You don't have to want my stuff. There's plenty for you and for me. There's plenty to share and to spare in God's abundant universe. Can we accept that? So it's not envious. Did I hit your number yet? Don't worry, I'm on my way. It's not boastful or arrogant or rude. That's a combo right there. Boastful or arrogant or... Let me just tie those up together real quick. Rudeness is demanding attention or taking attention from others that you're unwilling to give to yourself. Did you hear me? Rudeness is doing what? Taking or demanding attention from others that I'm unwilling to give to my... Because what happens when you're rude? You get a what? A reaction. And then you feed on that reaction. At least I'm getting some form of attention. But rudeness as a modus operandi, a method of functioning, is counterproductive to you, counterproductive to me. We all know how we feel when we've encountered someone who is being rude, right? Or who is being boastful. Taking away attention from others. I'm unwilling to give to myself. So ask yourself the question, where is it in my... What are you... Come down here and mess with you, just acting up all day. No. See, I'm impatient and unconscious. I'm not attacking the members. Messing with those two. You see, I saw you today. There it is. No, I'm kidding. No examples. Taking attention from others that I'm unwilling to give to myself. So if you find that you're getting feedback from the world around you that you are rude, don't become even more rude in defense. That's your whole stretch. That's your fast during the Lenten season. I will not become even more rude. Come on, say it out loud, just for others' sake. Come on. I will not become even. That's a stretch, isn't it? Because we pride ourselves on dropping those zingers, don't we, when we're being rude? Got them. You know anybody like that? Okay. I'm sure I haven't gotten to your number yet, but here's one that just might do it. It does not insist on its own way. Love does not insist on its own way. Now, I'm just going to put it out here. I'm going to confess. All right? Because sometimes I do insist, go on my own way. When we were planning our wedding, you heard that, huh? Anita said, I'm so glad this is recorded. We were planning our wedding, and, we had 1,000 details, and it was just this big extravaganza. I'm very excited about all of this, and so, but I want things to be just right, just that way. We got to have it here, and da-da-da-da, and we went through all of this. And this, my name is Kevin Cottrell Ross. That's my name. Well, my wife came up with this nickname for me during the wedding planning, Kevin Control Ross. Oh, don't act like it's just me now. Any controllers in the house? Some of us are remote controllers. We can control it from over here. I just realized, honey, oh, my flower. I just realized something, that all of the remote controls are on my side of the bed. I just recognized that. That's okay, honey. That's okay. All right, so it says, it doesn't mean that you cannot have your way, but the key word is insist. To insist on your own way. It says essentially, I don't see the other. I will not see the other. There's not room enough for us to coexist. She's giving him an earful over there. I see you just telling him, yes, that's you. I got it. Oh, is he doing it for you? Yeah, okay. Oh, good confession. All right. So I don't see the other. I'm not willing to see the other. There's not room for our coexistence. In that way, that may be the point of your fast. During this Lenten season, I will fast from having to have it only my way. Can you say that? Come on. During this Lenten season, I will fast from having to have it only my way. Can you see that? What if that was a point of focus during your Lenten journey? Could you see how it would be possible that you'd address some other qualities? Because you'd have to get that patience in there. You have to be kinder. You see how one just hits on the other? All right. Wrapping it up here. But if I haven't gotten to you, this one might get you. This might be yours. Love is not irritable or resentful. Love is not what? Irritable or... Does anybody here get irritated? Huh? So here's the thing about becoming irritated. When I'm being irritable, or if I'm easily irritated, it means that I am giving my attention and power to something outside of myself, giving it control over me. That's the translation. So if it has this ability to just dominate my thinking, my being, like with the spinal thing going on, all of that, that's me giving my power away. Can you see that? So if a fly comes in the room and you're so easily irritated, it's a fly. It did not have an agenda against you or the picnic. Can't personalize it. You get what I'm saying? So I want you to check in with what makes you irritable. And if you find that everything makes you irritable, come in for spiritual counseling, because that's far too much. But as you see what makes you irritable, or the things that you find that trigger that sense of powerlessness over it, I want to invite you to recognize this principle. Where my attention goes, my power flows. Together, come on. Where my attention goes, my power flows. And if I want to overcome being irritable, I must withdraw my attention from the thing that I'm saying is making me irritable. When I was growing up, my brother used to do this thing. And I just made it the worst thing in the world. He liked to cluck like a duck. And so we go. And he would go on with that. And you would have thought that he burned up all my toys, or I would and then bring him to my mother, mangled. And then she would ask me the most rational question. What did he do to deserve that? This, Ma. And when I did the thing, right, it didn't make any sense at all. The punishment didn't meet the crime. Do you understand? So who was really in need of some, right? I needed to walk out of the room, right? Do you get that there are some things that we can begin to do to shift our attention back on the main thing, which is ourselves? I said, Mom, it was good when it was just me, you, and Dad. You didn't have to bring Mikey into the picture. Who's been there? All right, let's wrap this up. Here's the last one. It's not resentful, and it does not rejoice in wrongdoing. Not resentful. When I'm being resentful, I'm holding my love from you and justifying it reasonably to myself. Resentful, I'm withholding my love from you, and I have a logical explanation for myself. Ever been there? Wow, you guys are just saved. I mean, somehow along the way, your feelings might get hurt in this life. But you don't have to make luggage out of it. You don't have to re-offend yourself every day by remembering it, by telling yourself the story over and over and over again. At this point, you are the offender. Not just the offender, resentment is making you a repeat offender. Because the event happened once, but every time I tell myself the story over and over and over again, I re-offend myself and then justify why I must withhold love. Are you hearing me this morning? Oh, you're going to get hurt. Life is just like that. You're going to get a bump upside your head. Somebody's not going to return a kindness to you. It's going to be an unfair deal. Who knows what I'm talking about? Let it end with that moment. I have the power to stop it right there. You are not worth me making myself sick, unhappy, and miserable, carrying around an image of your wrongdoing in my heart. Are you hearing me? Here's the message in its entirety. When I am truly functioning from love, I feel at one with everyone and everything. Love is universal oneness. Love is harmony. Love is inclusive. Love is the connective tissue. It's the sticky glue that holds the whole thing together. When I am operating in love, that's all I want more of. I want a greater experience of that feeling. I want it to be more than an emotion. I want to get down to the core of me and be able to rise above myself and my stuff so that I can love you anyway. The master teacher was a radical lover who taught, love your enemies. That's the goal. Oh, if you can get there, you've done it. You've mastered it. And the African proverb says, if there's no enemy within, the enemy without can do you no harm. So if you're looking for enemies outside of yourself, you've got another thing coming. This Lenten season, work on loving the inner me. The inner me. And as you do that, you will find you have really no enemies. Have you got it? I double dog dare you to try it. Make your commitment. Let's get there together. I'll see you at the finish line. And so it is written, and so I've spoken it, and so you have heard it, and so it is. God bless you. Thank you, everyone.